Here we go. Acme. This is NoLaughTrack, Acme Comedy's podcast, the official one, because there are a lot of imitators. No, that's not true. There aren't any. My name's Justin Severson. I'm here once again. My special guest, episode 63 here. Before I say his name, I want to say thanks to Circle of Heat for letting us play their music at the beginning there. Here we go. Tim Slagle back on NoLaughTrack.
Hey, you don't even need the track when I'm on. It's just no laugh.
That's right.
There's going to be no laugh. There's nothing funny about Slagle. And 9 out of 10 Minnesotans agree.
I parked right behind somebody on the street there with that bumper sticker. There's nothing funny about Slagle.
Yeah, I'm selling them.
I was like, oh, he's in town.
Yeah, I'm selling them. That's my latest merch.
I did show up on the right day. So I appreciate you showing up today after... Of course, you were a member of the 1972 perfect season Miami Dolphins, and you turned down...
Yeah, I'm not going to go.
You turned down the chance to meet President Barack Obama last night.
That's right.
So I appreciate you being here and doing your show last night and missing that great opportunity.
I am offended by his policy in Egypt, so yes, I did not go. And
you obviously saw that story.
Yeah, I did. It's... I don't know why they were there in the first place. I didn't get. I guess I didn't read the story.
It's the last, or no, it's not even the last undefeated team because the Patriots did it a few years ago, didn't they? So it was the 1972 Dolphins. Undefeated.
I mean, is that how far back? Is that how far back he's got to dig to try to get people to forget, not to recognize what a crummy president he is? I mean, for God's sake, Egypt's blowing up, and he's riding his bicycle in Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah,
I mean that's. I think he's doing it to show solidarity with the middle class by refusing to work more than part time. I think that's what's going on.
The headline I saw Sunday was he was going on his last day of golf. His last golf trip for that week.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a headline.
And that's an event.
Yeah.
Last golf trip in August.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. The 72 Dolphins were undefeated. I don't know why it takes to 2013 for them to be honored. I was reading about it today, and apparently the president had the Chicago Bears. They were honored earlier this year as well, and that was from 1985. I don't know what is taking so long to get these... teams, they're a little...
Why do football teams have to be honored by the White House anyway?
It's everything. I mean, I know you're not a huge sports fan, but I mean, they do it. Our Minnesota's WNBA team won the WNBA championship 2 years ago, whatever it was. They visited the president.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And little Girl Scouts going on school trips can't go because we just don't have the money to open the White House tours. But but we can dig back to 1973 for the Miami Dolphins, which you're a sports fan? Mm-hmm. Can you name a single 1973 Miami Dolphin?
That was like a year before I was even alive. But,
yeah, exactly.
Larry Zonka. Because I think I played with him on a video game at one point.
It's the country's a mess. And you know what it is? You know what really I think bugs me about. I probably shouldn't be getting political because this isn't a political podcast, but tough at Slagle.
That's right.
Is that it seems to me that no one is more adamant about getting their vacations than Democrats. Have you noticed that? It's like no. I have a vacation scheduled. I don't care if there's a military coup in Egypt. I don't care if Benghazi is if the embassy is being raided. I don't care if any of that. I've got a vacation scheduled, and that's you have no right to make me work on a scheduled vacation day. I know my rights. It's.
Is that sounds kind of selfish? Is that a trait you put towards that party?
Towards Democrat? Mm-hmm. No, I don't know what it is. I think it's I think it comes from their union affiliation. It's scheduled vacations must always be taken. You can't be forced to work on a scheduled vacation. And it's not just presidents and secretary of states. Try to get a social worker after 4 o'clock on a Friday.
Not if the sun's out.
It's any profession that it's predominantly teachers are the same way. It's we're now starting school at the end of July, so that the snow days don't make the school year run into June.
Boy, you're right about that. Don't get into that conversation about days off with a public school teacher. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, of course they have the most important job in the world.
You'll scratch your eyeballs out.
I think teachers are second only to vegetarians in the propensity to announce who they are 5 minutes into a cocktail party conversation.
Even more than like a homosexual?
Well, some homosexuals are good at it. A newly uncloseted homosexual, yes, is probably number one. Number two is probably vegetarian, and number three is teacher. and with the teacher disclosing what they do for a living, it's always followed up with, "That's why I'm underpaid."
Oh yeah.
It's not only will they have to identify themselves as a teacher, they will also point out that the $83,000 a year that they make is underpayment.
I'll take $83 a year.
Yeah,
sounds good to me.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Heck,
I'm not qualified though.
I'll take $3 a year. It's been a bad year for Slagle.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Hey, I was listening back to the first time you were on the podcast, and you said a fun thing that you like to get into is Facebook arguments. Been any good ones recently?
I don't know if the culture of Facebook's changing, or it's just I've chased everyone away.
Not happening anymore?
It doesn't seem to happen like it used to. So I don't know. I think it's. I think we're all starting to realize that we're just rats in Zuckerberg's cage. Mm-hmm. Is that we're all getting tired of devoting 10 hours a day so that he can be a multi-billionaire.
Yeah. Did you see he got hacked?
I think I did. But.
Yeah, there's some guy, some genius hacker, found out a way to post on Zuckerberg's Facebook page without them being friends. And supposedly, if you can do that, Facebook is supposed to give you $500. Well, they are not giving the guy the $500 because they said he used whatever, kind of not a dirty way to do it, but it wasn't he didn't go by the proper way to. He didn't break the rules the correct way. I don't know. Yeah, but they're not giving him the $500. They said try again. Maybe.
So he probably hacked Zuckerberg's password.
Yeah, it must be.
It's
It didn't explain what exactly his way around the system, obviously, but it was patched.
Which would actually be even funnier if he hacked Zuckerberg's password. Is that somebody actually which probably irked him too. It's an internet genius when everyone's talking about how to select a password that can't be figured out.
Yeah, his is like password with a period at the end.
You can't have Facebook as a password.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you try that?
Yeah, I did.
So your Gmail password's Gmail? Is that what I assume?
I have some passwords like that. That if it's a site that I really don't care about getting hacked.
Yeah.
Like I have an account on petition.whitehouse.gov. And my password there is very obvious, because that way I don't forget it.
Yeah.
And I really don't care if somebody hacks into my whitehouse.petition.gov account and starts putting petitions in my name. That doesn't really concern me.
Yeah, I suppose not.
So passwords like that, I always pick something really simple and memorable.
Yeah. I've been having I just got a new phone. I've been having a hard time getting all my passwords out of my memory.
Oh, so you got a new phone, so you have to remember all the passwords.
So I had to log into
on the old one.
Yeah, I had to log into Yahoo again and Gmail again and Fantasy Sports again. Yeah,
because you don't do the same password for everything.
Because different sites have different requirements.
Oh yeah, that's always hard.
Like, this one I have to have a capital letter.
And I wish they would tell you the rules right up. Mm-hmm. Because it's the same thing. It's a username password, and you put in the password, and nope, that's not right. And if it would say, you need one capital and a number, there's certain things I do when it's one capital and a number. There's certain places where I'll put that capital in the number.
Exactly.
But they don't tell you that until you've already said forgot password, got the email, retrieve the email, and then type in select a new password, and it says one capital and number. Then all of a sudden you go, oh, I know what this one was.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's.
I want to ask you about the. I'm sure you got an opinion on this. That there's talk of a Hillary Clinton TV show.
I've heard that's been canceled.
Yeah, so it's not happening.
The RNC chair, Reince Priebus, which I think I'm pronouncing that wrong. It makes it sound more like shampoo instructions. But
Repeat.
Reince Priebus, repeat. Is that he told NBC that if they ran a Hillary miniseries that they weren't going to do any debates on NBC.
Yeah.
And NBC backed down.
They did? Okay.
Yeah, from what I understand, they said, well, we weren't going to do a Hillary miniseries. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. You think that's fair to be able to
do a Hillary miniseries?
Either side, that they can put their foot down and say, well, we're fine. You do that, we're not going to help you.
I have to take issue with this. What would they have done? When has any network done a positive miniseries about a Republican ever?
Right.
A glowing miniseries. And it was, and they say, well, it wasn't necessarily going to be glowing. Oh, come on. It started when she won the New York Senate and ended before Benghazi.
Yeah.
It's like pretty much the only segment of Hillary's life that is without scandal was the segment they chose to highlight. Don't give me that crap that it wasn't going to be, a month-long campaign ad for Hillary.
Yeah.
Of course it was. Do I think a network should be able to do it? Yeah, I wish they would have done it. Because it blatantly shows their bias.
Yeah.
I don't think the bias for CNN was ever more highlighted than during the debates when Candy Crowley came on the president's side and said, oh no, what he's actually saying is true, and it turned out it wasn't.
Yeah.
Just apparently Candy Crowley just happened to have a transcript in front of her that was handed to her before the debate that she was reading off of that was, a bunch of BS. And that I love when bias is so blatant as that. It's, I think that's what bugs me about a lot of these stations is that they claim they're unbiased.
Right.
Fox News is kind of tongue in cheek when they say fair and balanced, but NBC, CNN, they won't CBS. They won't even do that. They just all they say is, "No, we're journalists. We're not."
I like that voice.
Yeah, it's my Thurston Howell voice.
Very distinguished. Wow.
It's and in the past couple of weeks that has never been more the bias has never been more blatant than the AP. Is that twice they when you heard about this, right? Do you know where I'm?
I don't know
where I'm going with this. Okay,
not yet.
Jay Leno had the president on.
Oh yes, yep.
And the president said that we need to deepen the ports on the Gulf states. We need to deepen Savannah and Charleston and Jacksonville on the Gulf. And everyone, of course. He's an idiot in geography. And I tell you, if that would have been Sarah Palin that would have said something that stupid, Saturday Night Live would have called Tina Fey and said, "Oh, we need you for this weekend. We got a great.
We're doing a live show in August.
Yeah,
get in here.
We got a great bit that we're working on."
Yeah. You're right.
But what did AP do? They put a parenthetical statement that corrected it.
Oh, really?
They said, yeah, ports like, the way they put it was ports like Savannah, Charleston, Jacksonville, parentheses, and on the Gulf states.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And they had to, the next day they had to apologize for correcting the president. And could you imagine any other or any specifically Republican being corrected by the AP when they said something stupid?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, ever. And then a day later, AP had to apologize because they showed a picture of the North Pole melting.
Yeah.
and it turns out that A, it wasn't the North Pole, and B, it wasn't melting.
Oh no!
Yeah, and it's just
What was it?
they had stuck some scientists had stuck a camera on an ice floe that had migrated 325 miles south, and the surface of it started to melt, and they said that it was probably a pond about 1 foot deep and about 100 feet across. But it looked, when you saw the picture, it looked like the North Pole was melting, and that was the headline AP put on it. And they had to come out, shortly after they apologized for correcting Obama and say, well, no, it wasn't the North Pole, and it wasn't melting.
No. That's not good. So, last time you were in town, the first time you were on the podcast I was listening to it. Like I said, it was Halloween last year.
Yeah, it was
October.
right before the election.
Mm-hmm.
That was,
and you did a little radio thing, and that show doesn't exist anymore. The morning show.
Oh.
Emmer's running for
Congress, which is weird.
Yeah, and Bob Davis isn't employed over there either.
Yeah, I think I might have burned a bridge with Tom.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's I can't remember what it was on, but they had me on, and I did a phone in, and they wanted me to talk about gay marriage. It was right after the. Was that the amendment? No, it was right after gay marriage. After it was legalized.
Okay.
And they wanted me to do a fun little phone in with Tom Emmer, and he wasn't amused with me. He got kind of flustered. Yeah.
Were you playing a character or just
no? It was he knew it was me.
Yeah.
And it was
Were you happy with how it went? Let's put it that way.
You know what? I don't know. I kind of felt bad. It's one of the lines I did was I said, that it's not really gay marriage; it's same-sex marriage. Because there is no state test for gayness.
Yeah.
You can't. Nobody would stand for that. How you going to do it anyway? Name 3 Judy Garland pictures. How many seasons did Dynasty run?
Yes.
Which of the following does not go with khakis? And Tom didn't get the joke.
Oh no.
And B, I think he thought that the joke wasn't as innocent as it was.
Oh,
I think he thought I was suggesting something else, and he kind of got. It didn't. And then he decided he'd run for Congress shortly after.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I had anything to do with that.
But you were in the Crash and Burn. Let's talk about that. The last time you were in town.
That's something really fun that Acme's doing, and I'm really happy to be involved in.
I came in one day to talk to a couple of people, and you were sitting out here writing at the one of the tables here in the restaurant at the club with Emily Galati, and Mike Lucas. Right? Who else? And
I think was it that week, or was it the next week that you announced that you had your first repeat guest on this show?
Oh, that's right.
The only reason why you got he was your first repeat guest was because you passed on me the week of Crash and Burn, because otherwise it would have been me.
Well, here you are, though.
Yeah. How many repeat guests have you had, though, in the meantime?
I don't know. 20? No. 3 or 4? 4, maybe?
Yeah.
We're on a run. We're on a run of repeats.
Well, yeah. So, what is Crash and Burn? Okay. Did the other comics talk about it now?
Yeah, but I want to know what you have to say about it.
Okay. It's just an idea where we get 4 headliners together, and we try to write a new 20 minutes each during the week, and. It's a lot of fun because most of the times, your next booking is dependent on your last performance. Mm-hmm. So most comics are really tentative about actually just opening up and doing a whole block of new material. Usually it's a line here, a line there.
Yeah.
And acts get written at glacial pace. But this is just a great chance for comics to actually get a 20-minute bump into their act. and it's
Are you using stuff from that week though?
oh yeah. The first time went really well for me. I got a good solid 20 minutes out of the first time I did it. This last time, not so much.
Yeah.
But I was hosting this time. I hosted all week, so it wasn't as a host. It's a little more difficult to bust out the new stuff, and the Angels didn't inspire me.
Okay.
The comedy Angels.
No, you weren't visited?
They did not pay the visit. It's I think I got a little bit of the stuff, but a little bit of new stuff. But
and then in the future, will it be coming back?
Yeah,
again?
we're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing that every year. I think. I think the next time we're looking at May.
Okay.
Right now, and it's we've already got 3 commitments that I don't know if I'm at liberty to announce right now.
Okay.
But it's going to be it's going to be a big. It's going to be names very familiar to anyone who's into Minnesota comedy.
No, awesome. That's good to hear. You had a show last night here.
Yes, I did.
How was that?
You know, they're doing the
competition.
Yeah, funniest person in Minnesota competition.
Yeah.
So the audience was just packed full of family of the 5 contestants.
Yeah.
And I think I might have made them worry about their relatives' future.
Were the youngins talking to you backstage?
One of them was. And it's there's this thing where that I recognized right away is when you're working with a newer comic, that they're so excited about the idea of comedy and being in comedy is that they can't stop doing comedy. Mm-hmm. And eventually, after working with like a guy like that for a couple weeks, you just want to say, would you shut up?
Oh, really?
Sometimes a stop sign is just a stop sign.
Okay. Sure.
It's like they'll try to mold everything into a bit, and there's absolutely no way to have a conversation with this, and they're not even human anymore.
Were you like that once?
What? I don't know.
You don't know?
I hope not. It's like if you ask somebody and say, "Are you a good drunk or a bad drunk?" Nobody's going to say, "Oh yeah, I was a real bad drunk."
Yeah, right.
It was like, "Oh no, it's when I was drinking, I was quite often clever and humorous, and people always seem to enjoy my company when I've been drinking." So it's the same thing.
Clever drunk. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, one of the kids was like that backstage, and I just had to excuse myself and
sure,
leave them to the other comics.
I see.
So
yeah,
it was.
Do moms and dads come up to you like, when their kids up on the stage here?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The moms and dads and brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and cousins all probably wanted to do an intervention for them after my show and say, this. I really don't think this is the career you should be pursuing, Scooter.
Love it. Absolutely love it. I who was it now? There was one of the headliners just in the last month or so where the contest was going on. He told me, he goes, "Oh yeah, those contest guys. No, I don't allow them backstage. That's my room. Pay your dues."
No, I can't do that.
No,
I've done. It's like I like to do a lot of the open mics around Chicago now, and I have a real hard time bumping anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to bump anyone because I remember being there, and having the celebrity come in and saying, "I want to go on now."
Yeah,
while you're backstage pacing, and you've been working a whole week on that 10 minutes you're going to do, and you're getting worked up, and you're ready to go on, and then the MC
you already went
comes,
to the bar and had the shot,
and then have the MC come to you and go, Buddy Sheckelstein wants to go up. Like, what? Hey, I'm sorry, it's Buddy Sheckelstein. He can do whatever he wants.
The Shexter.
Yeah. Actually, that happened to me at the Comedy Store. I actually got bumped by Milton Berle.
Really?
At the Comedy Store, yeah.
Holy cow.
LA. Yeah, that. And they said, "Don't worry, you'll go on right after him." Like, what?
No. Put somebody else in there.
Yeah.
Buffer.
It's probably what I should have done was just gotten an encore for Milton Berle. That's all I should have done. I said, how about that? Milton Berle, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
Milton Berle. That was Uncle Milty right here at Milton Berle. Ladies and gentlemen, Milton Berle. And
Seriously, folks.
Just run out the whole 3 minutes like that. That's what I should have done.
Was he funny?
It's Milton Berle. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, he's a living legend. Did you ever see Finding Forrester? Movie. Sean Connery plays like a J.D. Salinger kind of character that teaches a kid how to
little black kid.
Yeah, how to write.
Yeah, I think so.
And
I don't remember much of it.
Sookie Stackhouse was his his high school girlfriend. And anyway, he's talking to him. He goes, you know why authors do book signings, don't you? And he's like, I don't know, sell books. They do it to get laid. And he goes, really? You get laid when you write a good book? You get laid when you write a bad book. And that's, when I think of, when I say to myself, why would Milton Berle come in and bump me at the Comedy Store? Same answer.
Yeah. Fair enough. And they said he had the master. He had a third leg.
Yeah, no, that's what I heard. That except for his propensity to steal jokes, that's the other legend about Milton Berle.
The master swordsman, as someone once said.
Yeah, no, he loved it. Actually saw him. He came into Second City. He was doing a lot of showcases, and I saw him a couple places. He came into Second City around the same time, and did a walk on. And a buddy of mine who was into improv thought it would be really funny. Put on a woman's dress and a cigar, and came out while Milton Berle was on stage.
Oh boy!
He thought that Milton Berle would like to do a little improv, and he gets up and he comes out and he stands next to him. He goes, "Look, Uncle Milty, I'm your doppelganger." And Milton Berle, without missing a beat, looks down at his skirt, right at his crotch. He goes, "Not entirely."
Really?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So he was aware of it.
What a stud!
Yeah,
what a freaking stud. Hey, so you're not living here in this fine state of Minnesota, but
kinda.
Yeah, we talked about that last time. You're practically a resident.
Yeah.
By proxy, I guess it would be, if you added up all the time you spent here in the state, on the stage, and all that. Are you been paying attention to this, the advertising in Minnesota for the insurance using Babe, the Blue Box?
Land of 10,000 reasons why you should get health insurance.
I think you know what I'm talking about. Then. I've been entertained in the last few days by the how do I say it? People pointing out why this is a bad idea. Using Babe, the Blue Ox, and who isn't going to understand, and who this is going to alienate. And then, of course, the mayor in Bemidji, Minnesota, was saying that she was offended that people of Bemidji should be offended that they're using Paul Bunyan, getting his nuts hit on a pine tree and whatnot. And then later on in the day, she said
it's really funny. They're saying 10,000 reasons, but those are the only two that they've really been able to come up with, aren't they?
I love it. One of the local TV stations they sent a guy to. It appeared to be one of these, housing development where it was all minority little kids, and started with kids going up. In any case, he had his iPad and he's showing all these immigrants, minorities, these videos of Babe the Blue Ox and Paul Bunyan, and asking them if they know who it is. And of course, none of them have any idea who Paul Bunyan is.
So you're saying that the purpose of advertising, the Min Care, is that what it's called?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The purpose of advertising it is to try to reach the Somali immigrants?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's not going to work, huh?
Well, no, it's. I didn't realize that that's what the Affordable Care Act was for, so that that immigrants can get.
Well, I'll read some of this article I printed out here. The biggest travesty here is the $9 million of taxpayer money that's been spent coming up with Paul Bunyan and Babe, the GOP rep Peggy Scott said. It's a $9 million ad campaign to get 1.3 million Minnesotans to sign up for health care. So, the TV, like I was saying, the ads that feature the Paul Bunyan and Babe and a number of injury-riddled mishaps for which they need medical care and insurance. But Scott says the campaign never mentions when Minnesotans are really signing up for Obamacare.
Yeah, it's Paul Bunyan care. You know what's kind of interesting though. Now that I think about the two reasons that they display, with Paul Bunyan straddling the tree,
riding it almost,
is that if I remember my folklore. Is that Paul Bunyan was always kind of like he was kind of like the Chuck Norris of his day. Is that Paul Bunyan stories were all like Paul Bunyan was so big and so tough that he dragged his axe across
chopped down trees with one swipe.
The Nevada desert, and that's where the Grand Canyon came from.
Yeah,
it's all these stories like that.
Yeah, you're right.
I wonder if lumberjacks, because lumberjacks are, I'm sure lumberjacks aren't much different than lumberjacks were then than they are today. I wonder if they had stories about Paul Bunyan's nuts.
I don't know. All the mighty things they did? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I can't imagine that there weren't a few Paul Bunyan stories that did not make it into grade school textbooks.
Well, there's no Mrs. Bunyan, so, there's the mighty blue balls, of course. Come on. There we go. Come on. Yeah.
Did you bring your blue ox in the house again, Paul? Are you happy to see me?
That's right.
So what I can't see 10,000 here. I can actually think of one reason not to sign up for MinCare. And that's because it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And there really is. I mean, logically, there really is no reason to sign up for it.
Oh, they're calling it MinSure.
MinSure, that's it.
Yeah, MinSure. More than 1 million people are expected to sign up for MinSure online, and Republican critics don't expect it to go smoothly. In fact, instead of Paul and Babe, that repo I mentioned, Scott, is suggesting another Minnesota legend might be a better fit. Do you know who she suggested?
No.
She says, I'm thinking, go back to Bob Dylan. He's a folklore guy, right? And he has a song called Everything is Broken. I think that might be more appropriate. Little joke there.
Yeah.
Little jokey joke. Yeah. So there's that. I thought you'd...
I was thinking she was a Minnesota legend, a living legend. I thought maybe Garrison Keillor.
Yeah. Garrison. How about the Obamas, they got a new dog. That was big news on Monday. I couldn't sleep once.
Yeah, you know what? That's kind of interesting. Is that the last we heard, the last we saw Bo, he was being flown into Martha's Vineyard on an Osprey V-22.
That's right. He got his own trip to
right.
vacation. He needed his vacation too.
And the next thing you know, there's a little puppy.
Uh-huh.
And it just kind of occurred to me is that how many basketball players have a baby shortly after they get the private jet?
Yeah,
there's something like that's what I'm guessing is like is Bo is you want to see my Osprey? The next thing you know, he knocks up a bitch. Which A, I can say because it's a podcast, and B, it's correct.
That's right. This bitch's name is Sunny, by the way.
Oh,
Sunny is Bo's bitch now.
Oh, that's the puppy though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh.
No, I was talking about the I'm guessing Bo's is another Portuguese water dog, or is it what is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see what you're saying. That the mysterious We don't know who Mom is, do we?
Yeah. She's but I mean, what I'm saying is, you get a private jet, you get some action.
Mm-hmm.
That's
kind of like headlining at Acme, right?
oh, there was a time. But those days are long past.
Yeah. So what else have you been doing in the last year? You were here with the crash and burn. You were here
with the crash and burn.
Before the election.
Yeah, I was here. I was actually here for the election.
Yeah,
we actually did the Davis and Emmer. We actually did the election.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you did
on the stage. Yeah,
the headlining here, and then the following week
that was a difficult night.
Yeah,
I woke up and I knew. I knew that when I woke up that morning, the polls were right. So it was real hard to put on a smiley face in front of and everybody showed up, and everyone showed up. We thought we thought there was no way that with the economy sucking as bad as it did, that the president could get reelected, and weren't we surprised?
Yeah. You had to go. You were live on the radio, right?
Live on the radio,
and you still got to sell it.
Yeah, still had to sell it. Still had to tell the people that it doesn't matter. It's the economy's been bad for 4 years, but it's only 4. We're halfway through. Okay, lighten up, people. We're only halfway through.
We have policies in place where it could stop after 4, but no, we're just halfway.
What? It could stop after?
No, I'm saying
Yeah, well, I don't think it's
if there wouldn't have been someone reelected.
I have a feeling that Michelle's going to run in 2016.
Yeah,
I just have a gut feeling that as it approaches the term, I think they're going to I think they've gotten used to the perks, and it's they will never have an uncomfortable life from this moment forward. But you don't get a private jet for your dog.
Yeah,
not many people have that kind of money that they can jet their dog in a V-22.
Does the presidential dog have Secret Service as well, where it's like a German Shepherd or that follows it around?
Yeah, there's actually from what I understand, it's $100,000 a year job. The presidential dog tender.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, there is a federal position. It's the presidential. You got to have the clearance. You got to have the federal experience. But $100,000 a year to walk the president's dog.
Must love your country and dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's more than a public teacher makes, as we learned.
Well, I don't know.
Well, I got something fun we're going to talk about here. I'm going to give you. I have a list here of the least respected brands. Did you see this list?
No, I did not.
Okay, it's been probably circulating the last couple days or day or so. Least respected brands in the U.S. and then the most respected brands. I'm gonna read the brand, and then you tell me which list it's.
Oh, if it's up or down?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And then if you have any feelings on why it would be,
okay,
or why you said that. All right.
Sure.
All right. Let's see. We'll go with J.C. Penney.
Huh.
Is that a stumper to start us out here?
Yeah, it's let's
go for a real.
It's the most forgotten brand.
Well,
it's Montgomery Ward's.
That's right.
J.C. Penney, is it least respected or most respected? I would guess at a point they were least respected, but I would believe since they hired Ellen DeGeneres that they're now the most respected brands.
It says least.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's because they had a whole deal where they made a bad mistake in the last year where they stopped having sales and just telling people, no, our prices are low every day. Well, the problem is most people are trained, to look for a sale, to feel like they're getting a deal, and it went horribly.
That's just a reason why I don't have a lot of hope for the future of the human race.
Because we need to be tricked?
Yes. Yes, it's like here's a store. They come out and they say, "Guess what, people? We're not going to trick you anymore. We're not going to mark our prices up 30% and then send you a coupon for 30% off. Mm-hmm. We're just not going to do that.
Yeah.
Just come into the store. The prices are the same all the time. And what do the people say? Oh no, I want 30% off.
But then I'm not getting a deal. No. You want no. But I don't. Where's the coupon? No. See?
Yeah, it's the adage that it's much easier to fool people than to convince them that they're being fooled.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's and it's why I'm not a big fan of democracy, because democracy is rule by the same people that think that you can buy a $6.99 device over the phone that will make you lose 20 pounds and have six-pack abs. You know, that they would rather believe that crap than to know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same. There you go. We don't respect J.C. Penney because they don't lie to us.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
it really is. Here should be Philip Morris.
That would be least, huh?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. That's an easy one.
Yeah, that was so easy. I thought it was a trick.
That was tricky. No. Let's see. Coke and Pepsi. As you're sitting here drinking a Diet Pepsi, or you were at least.
No, this is very Diet Pepsi.
Yeah.
It's Pepsi without the syrup. Coke and Pepsi, least respected, most respected. I'm going to have to go on most on those. Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
What? Just because they spend billions of dollars to buy that.
Yeah.
You know, they're not respected. They're not respected by the food Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's that crap's full of poison. You know, I just drink water. You know, it's because you're a genius. Okay, you are actually paying the same price for the water without the syrup and carbonation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How about Harley Davidson?
Oh, that's got to be respected.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's got to be respected.
Oh, yeah.
It's
how about let's go back to the Coke and Pepsi. You must have an opinion on in New York with the Mayor Bloomberg and the no fun mayor.
You know, it would seem to me, and this just highlights the discrepancy between politicians' self-image and the reality of how the public perceives them, is that you would think that with all the jokes being made about Mayor Bloomberg and his 64-ounce drinks, you would think that with all the negative press he's gotten with that after, was it 3 times now the courts have told him that he cannot do that? It's at least 2. I think it's actually 3 times the courts have said you have no power to limit the size of fizzy drinks. And yet, does he say, do his handlers say, you know what, Mr. Bloomberg, you're really getting a lot of negative press, and I know you were thinking of a presidential run, and the rest of the country, we really don't think that this is playing very well. So why don't we just say, I accept the court's decision? No, he's going, no, I have the power. You courts just don't understand. I have the power. He did.
Wasn't there something about escalators and staircases and it's the whole, like we were just talking about the controlling the masses. Well, we're going to get you to not drink, too much pop by making it, not available. Or we're going to take away escalators and make you hike up the stairs. Isn't that something? Wasn't that one of the things that he was proposing?
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Who knows? Maybe that was some satirical thing I was reading. Making fun of it. And a year from now, it'll be true. There'll be all the escalators.
Yeah, put little gates at the escalators. No, you have to run 3 flights of stairs, and you have little microchips in your arm. It's like no, we're shutting the escalator off. You've had all your escalator rides for the day.
Some sort of pulley system to lift yourself up. I'm going to hand this thing to you. These are this is a list of words that sound dirty, but they're not.
I just had one the other day. Somebody was talking. They were talking about they moved to the southwest or southeast,
mm-hmm.
and it was a chain of grocery stores that you don't have here, called Harris Teeter.
Oh.
And that, for some reason, Harris Teeter always sounded dirty to me.
I keep mine clean. My hair is tater. Here we go.
I shave mine.
I have them.
No hair
There's 10 of them there.
since I've been shaving.
I want to hear your voice reading those.
Uvula, kumquat, dongle, rectory.
See, it is funny.
It's oh yeah. It's I'm just reading. I'm just reading the words, and then they went the same place I did. The residence for a priest, what makes it even dirtier. Caulk.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I'm gonna pass on. Throbbing.
Yeah.
Coccyx. I have no idea what that is.
Coccyx?
Yeah.
It's something in the body, isn't it?
Elbow?
Tailbone.
Tailbone. Oh.
Tailbone.
Huh.
Our coccyx expert back there.
So it's kind of like a man clitoris. So I guess that is.
Is that what it is, Derek?
Spelunking. And again, depending on who you're with, find my keys will drive my truck out. Flagellum. An angina. That's that one. That's an old grade school joke.
Deliver it.
Let's see. The woman goes to the doctor, and he goes, "Well, I can see your problem. You have acute angina." She goes, "I know I have nice tits too, but what's?"
I like that. I like that joke. I think that is funny.
And it's right up there with there's another version of that is a lonely cougar goes to the side she wants to make it with a sexy mechanic, and so she goes into the auto dealership, and she says, "Excuse me, could you help me? I can't start my car. I think I need a jump or something." Wink, wink. And he goes, yeah, sure, yeah, whatever. And they're walking out to the lot there, and she leans over to him and she whispers, and she goes, I have an itchy pussy. And he goes, "Lady, you're gonna have to point it out. Those Japanese cars all look the same."
I haven't heard that one. I like that. I like that. Angina. You're still looking that over. Get anything?
Yeah, no, that's it. I'm
done. Here's one more I want to ask you about. These are tips on how to. This is from 1950, according to men in the 1950s. These are tips on how to satisfy your husband, according to men in the 1950s. So these are, that makes sense, right?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to read these. Get your opinion. Don't talk. If there's anything women love, it's being told to be quiet. But the 1950s guys advised them not to mention their own thoughts because that's nagging. Instead, be a good listener, and if you do talk, stroke your man's ego. What I'm asking you, Mr. Slagle, did men in the 1950s have it figured out? Just kidding. You don't have to answer that.
It's no, women did.
They did? Okay.
Apparently.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's nagging. Here's the next one. Be a good cook, or else your man will hit up the saloons. A woman should be more than, quote, a mere can opener. So give your man the best cut of steak and put out the fancy tablecloth. Otherwise, he'll stop coming home for dinner. Like that one too, huh?
I don't. I don't know if I can comment on any of these without getting myself in trouble.
Well, that's right. You have a wife back home, don't you?
Yeah. It's fortunately, without her man to work the internet, she'll never be able to listen to this. So and that's not a reflection on women. It's just a reflection of our age.
Sure.
It's like I can work that internet thing only because I'm advanced for my age.
Yeah.
Is as far as within my age bracket, I am like a super geek. and that's just because.
Self-trained, right?
That's just because I can get another email address that doesn't end in AOL. That's that automatically puts me in an age bracket, very top of my age bracket.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I saw a stat. Quite a few people are still using AOL emails and paying for it, I believe.
I don't think you pay for it anymore.
I just read that.
Really? You still have to pay for it?
I think people... now,
wow.
I'm going to have part of this wrong. Maybe it's people signed up and had paid for it, not realizing.
Do you know what's happened?
You don't have to anymore.
Do you know what's happened to me? Is I can't send email to people on AOL anymore
because you didn't pay. No, I don't know.
No.
To them.
Yeah, anything I send to anyone with an AOL address gets bounced back. So little hint. If anybody's actually figured out how to listen to the podcast and still has an AOL email address, and you're wondering why you haven't heard from Slagle for a while, or anyone else. It's how tight does the spam filter?
I don't know. That's news to me.
Yeah. So I actually had to email the AOL postmaster and say what's going on.
Maybe you're using some words that they don't appreciate. They have like a filter.
No, I've rewritten. There's one letter that I've been trying to send several times, and I've rewritten it. Every time I get it, I rewrite it into a perfectly formed letter with no, It's one thing I learned is if you send anyone to someone with an email address that in the subject line is "You're not going to believe this."
Oh God, yeah. I just got two messages on Twitter yesterday.
She told me she wants it longer.
Right.
You put that in the subject line, automatically that's going to get bounced. And those are a couple of my favorite subjects.
Hey! 2 inches instantly. I got 2 messages on Twitter yesterday that apparently Dr. Oz wants to share some secrets.
The genius of that is that eventually all the spam filters are just going to delete any email that has Oz in it.
Yeah.
So that's I think that'll be a plus.
Wizard of Oz gone. Going back to that one I read there, it would be nice to go home to the best cut of steak. We'll just leave it at that.
I don't know.
No?
I don't know. The best cut of steak is probably going to run you about $26. I could think of something better to do. You know how much beer that'll buy?
Damn right.
Holy cow!
And those prices are going up too.
That's like 230s. That's like 230s of Strohs right there.
Oh boy.
Oh wait! Are you getting beerist on me?
Well, Strohs. Wow.
What do you drink?
Do they still have that around here? Strohs?
Strohs is one of the Strohs I love. I'm a big connoisseur of the dead brands.
Yeah. Pig's Eye was one I used to like.
Pig's Eye?
That's I grew up in St. Paul. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know Pig's Eye. But I'm talking more the national dead brands, Blatz, Strohs.
Well, Schlitz was one for a while.
Schlitz.
Yeah.
Schlitz. Did I tell you about Schlitz?
No.
Okay. I've talked about this before. This to me is fascinating. Is that Schlitz came out? Schlitz originally Schlitz was a very popular. It was the beer that made Milwaukee famous, I believe.
Yeah.
And it was actually a really good beer. And then in the 60s, what was happening was a lot of the breweries were cutting corners to make affordable beer. That was the 60s is what became the age of affordable beer.
Yeah.
And Schlitz decided that they were going to get on the affordable beer train, and they made a lower quality affordable beer that is the Schlitz we all grew up with. And it essentially it fell out of favor, and now there's only 2 or 3 beers left of all these, all the dead brands, Miller, Coors, and Bud, and I think Coors is even gone. Coors is folded into one of the other ones, so there might even only be 2.
Oh yeah.
Schlitz decided that they're going to go back to their original recipe.
That's right.
And it's of course I love the dead brands, and it's in the long neck brown bottles.
Yes, it is.
So I tried it. Have you tried it?
I have.
Tried?
Oh yeah.
What do you think?
It wasn't bad at all.
Yeah. It kind of tasted like a microbrew, didn't it? Mm-hmm. And that was really curious to me. It's like, okay, is this it's one of two things. Either A, this is what beer really tasted like before the 60s. Or B, some marketing genius says hipsters love Pabst and microbrew.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to put a microbrew in an ironic bottle.
Yeah.
And we will be like the number one seller. And they said, yeah, but we're going to be claiming that it's original recipe, Schlitz. And the guy who came up with it, the Don Draper genius, said, who's going to know?
Right?
The original Schlitz drinkers are either dead or have lost all ability to taste anything.
No doubt.
And so I have yet. That is a question that still remains unanswered. Now, my mom swears that she tried the original recipe Schlitz, and she was a bit of a rebel, and she said it tasted exactly like her old man's beer.
Oh wow!
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Thank God she doesn't even have an AOL email, so she'll never hear this. So I don't know if she's just imagining that that's what her old man's beer tasted like, or actually she says it actually that is exactly what her old man's beer used to taste like.
Wow.
Or if she just remembers Schlitz and she's just so I don't. I'm kind of leaning towards the fact that it is the original recipe for Schlitz. And other people have told me that if it's not, they're going to get a lot of grief from brewmasters. But the question remains unanswered. How do we know?
Well, I'm going to get some on the way home from here now because I'm really thirsty.
and take it to the nursing home.
I tell you, yeah, no kidding. Taste test with with great grandpa and great grandma. Yeah, exactly. You need to go make a phone call.
Yes,
so
I do.
We should wrap this thing up. Where can people Twitter again?
Yeah, just at Tim Slagle. Just Google Tim Slagle. I'm the first 6 pages when you Google Tim Slagle. Slagle.
I can tell you, even if you put EL on accident because your fingers hit the wrong buttons, it still goes to you.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow, cool.
At least on my computer.
Oh, okay.
All right. Tim, thank you.
Sure.
Oh, one last question. I'm asking everyone this now. Have you ever been fondled by Andy Dick?
It depends on your definition of fondling.
Fair enough. Thank you.